In this lesson, I will show you another useful tool with which you can create sloped edges in 3D solids. This tool is called Chamfer Edge. In the open document, I have already created a few 3D solids to show you how you can create sloped edges using the Chamfer tool. You can activate the Chamfer tool if you go to the Features tab and click on the arrow below the fillet icon. Once I activate the tool, the Property Manager palette activates automatically. As you can see in the type area of the Property Manager palette, there are quite a few chamfer types to choose from. In the first example, I will activate the Angle Distance type. As its name indicates, with this type selected, I have to specify a distance and an angle. With the Items to Chamfer field active, I will zoom in on the first solid object and I will click on the front edge of the solid. From the available options below the Items to Chamfer field, I will select the full preview. Next, I will go to the Chamfer Parameters area. In the Distance field, I will type the number 15 and I will press Enter. Then I will go to the Angle field, I will type the number 30 and I will press Enter. Notice how the preview changed. I will orbit the view and I will click on the flip direction icon. Notice that the direction of the chamfer changed. I can also click on the opposite edge to create another chamfer. I can also select an entire face. At this point, I will delete the face and the second edge from the Items to Chamfer field and I will click on the check mark to show you the final result. In the next example, I will activate the Chamfer tool again and I will select the Distance chamfer type. With this chamfer type selected, I have to specify the vertical and horizontal distance of the chamfer. With the Items to Chamfer field active, I will zoom in on the second solid object and then I will click on the top front edge of the object. From the Chamfer Parameters area, I can define if the horizontal and the vertical distances will be equal or not. To be more specific, if I select the Symmetric option, then the horizontal and vertical distances will be equal and the value of the distance is specified right below in the Distance field. So I will type the number 12 in this field and I will press Enter. Now I will expand the list and I will select the Asymmetric option. With the Asymmetric option, I can specify two different distances. Once I select this option, the Distance 1 and Distance 2 fields appear. I will type the number 6 in the Distance 1 field and the number 12 in the Distance 2 field. Then I will click on the check mark to show you the result. In the third example, I will activate the Chamfer tool again and I will select the Vertex chamfer type. Now all I have to do is select a vertex of the object. In this example, I will select a corner of the object and notice that the vertex's name appears in the Items to Chamfer field. Now from the Chamfer Parameters area, I can specify 3 distances to create the chamfer. Alternatively, I can activate the Equal Distance option so all 3 distances will be equal. With the Equal Distance option selected, only one distance field appears. If I deactivate the Equal Distance option, the Distance 1, 2 and 3 fields appear automatically. I will type the number 10 in the Distance 1 field, the number 5 in the Distance 2 field, and the number 15 in the distance 3 field. Now I will click on the check mark and I will orbit the view to show you the result again. Now let's move on to the fourth example. So I will activate the chamfer tool again and I will select the offset face chamfer type. With this chamfer type selected, I have to select an edge first and then I can specify if the chamfer will be symmetrical or not. So I will select the edge and then I will expand the list and select the symmetric option. Now I will type the number 12 in the distance field and I will press enter. If I want to create another chamfer, I have to activate the multi-distance chamfer option. Once I do, I will select the second edge and I will type the number 5 in the distance field. Notice the preview of those chamfers. At this point, I will deactivate the multi-distance chamfer option and I will remove the second edge from the items to chamfer field. Then I will restore the value in the distance field to 12 and I will activate the partial edge parameters options. From this area, I can specify an offset value so the chamfer won't start from the beginning of the edge. Notice that two dots appeared in the preview, a green dot and a purple dot. The purple dot corresponds to the start condition options, while the green dot corresponds to the end condition options. Now if I expand the start condition or the end condition list, I can see the available options. With the none option, the chamfer will be created along the entire length of the edge. If I select the distance offset, I can specify a certain distance in which there will be no chamfer. With the percentage offset option, I can specify a specific percentage of the edge's length in which there will be no chamfer. While with the reference offset option, I can select a reference vertex or face to specify where the chamfer will start or end. In this example, I will expand the start condition list and I will select the distance offset option. Then I will type the number 20 in the offset distance 1 field and I will press enter. Notice that the chamfer starts 20 mm to the right from the beginning of the edge. The exact same options can be found in the end condition list. So I will expand the end condition list and I will select the none option. Notice that the green dot disappeared from the preview. Now all I have to do is click on the check mark to inspect the result. In the last example, I will show you the face chamfer type. So I will activate the chamfer tool one more time and I will select the face chamfer type. Now in the items to chamfer area, there are two fields, the face set 1 field and the face set 2 field. With the face set 1 field active, I will select the top face of the object. Then I will click on the face set 2 field to activate it and I will select the front face of the object. At this point I should mention that I can add more than one faces to either of the face set fields. For example, I will add the right face to the face set 2 field. Now from the chamfer parameters area, I can specify the distances of the chamfer. I will select the symmetric option, I will type the number 18 in the distance field, and I will press enter. Now I will click on the check mark to inspect the final result. So this is how you can create chamfered edges in Solidworks.